Welcome in then to the latest edition of Extra Time. I'm Dan Thomas. Stevie, Nicol with us here in the studio. We also welcome James with us, as is Don, who may have been out in the sun. Don, just guessing?
Yeah, played golf today, didn't take precaution, didn't put the sunscreen on, but
Yeah.
had a great day though.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself. Stevie sent me an interesting video today, which you had to watch with the sound on, because at the start it's like, Steve, Nicol, all your best bits. You're like, oh, why is Stevie sending me this? This isn't very Stevie. But once you put the sound on, former Liverpool legend, hates our club and here's why.
Absolutely slaughtered me.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Honestly. and actually, the main reason I sent it to you is because of you.
Why is that?
Well, because generally, regardless of whether I say it or not, you twist it in a way.
No, I just call the Liverpool Echo and I
then
said,
do
you know what former Liverpool
getting
legend?
pelters from everybody.
But you know, if any of these people saw you in the street, oh, can I have a picture? Oh, no one's giving you pelters, are they, in real life, are they?
You're right.
Don, did you get into any post-match altercations with an opposing manager on the pitch? You seem too level-headed to ever get that angry. Don?
What? Dear me. Who's wrote that? Level-headed? No, I was too emotional. I'd have been right involved. I'd have, sneaky little one to the ribs. Yeah, that was me in the huddle.
Was it, Don?
Does
one
behind
stick out?
Stevie.
Is there one you remember?
I don't think with a manager. I mean, I had one with Mauricio Taricco, who's a left-back for Ipswich. And I was at Sheffield United in a playoff semi-final. We went down to Portman Road and we beat them. And he'd done the most despicable thing that any pro can do to another pro. And I went to shake his hand and he spat in my face. Wow. And honestly, there's a picture of me pulling my hand back and I went to punch him in the face and there's a picture. And who's standing behind me and he pulls my arm back? Jan Fjortoft.
Wow.
He stopped me from getting sent off. Yeah, Jan, I'll try and dig the picture out. Jan stops me and he stops me from punching him. Otherwise, I'd obviously been red carded and I would have missed the final at Wembley. And then weirdly, just how football works, 6 months later, Alan Pardew signs him for West Ham. And he walks into the dressing room and he looks at me and I look at him and we just go, hey.
Really? You were soft like that? Because obviously Frank and Chris Sutton had quite a history when Sutton used to play for Blackburn, I think it was. Then he moved to Chelsea. And Frank didn't speak to him pretty much for the whole season because of an altercation they had previously. Yeah, but you're soft like that.
I could tell that obviously he walked into the dressing room and he's like, Stevie will tell you, when you walk into a dressing room, it's like your first day at school. It's horrible because like you don't want to be too loud, you don't want to be too flash, so you sit down, you get your head down, but you don't want to be too quiet. So you've got to try and mingle and have a conversation, and you get onto the pitch, then everything's fine. So he walked into the dressing room, obviously with about 25 lads he didn't know, and he knows probably, a few months earlier he'd done what he did to me. So he probably knew when he was walking in there he was going to have to address it. So instead of addressing it, we both just looked at each other and just smiled and laughed it off. Oh. It was the best way.
Would you have been as forgiving, Stevie?
I don't know. I was never spartan. I never got spat in the face.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't think I would have had to have said something.
Don, did you get lost during your trip around the US covering the Club World Cup? This was a big concern of yours, of course, going into the start of the tournament.
Not really, because we had some PR girls that properly looked after us and made sure we flew from Orlando to Cincinnati to Atlanta to Miami.
We don't need all that.
Yeah. No, not really. I mean, we had a dicey one on the plane when there was thunder and lightning, and we were stuck on a plane for about 2 hours before we flew back to, I think, Atlanta, and we nearly missed the PSG into Miami game, but we just took off and just got away with it. It was pretty dicey.
James, what was the best place you visited while you're in the States?
I would say the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta, actually. I mean, obviously the stadiums have had a lot of criticism for, the conditions and obviously not a lot of them being full, but that arena is something else. A real incredible place to go and watch football, and I'm glad it's being used for. I mean, it's a no-brainer really to use it for the main World Cup next summer. So yeah, looking forward to going back hopefully.
Don, we saw on your Insta you were embracing some of the food from the different places you were visiting. Did you have a favourite meal?
Oh, honestly, Dan, there was a place in Atlanta called the Twin Smokers.
Right.
And it was just pure beef brisket. It was like all pulled pork and pulled beef and like, I put it all over Instagram. It was social media. It was just like meat. It was amazing.
Oh, lovely. Second best meal apart from, of course, the one that we had, Don, when you were here. With the Club World Cup kick-off times causing heat complaints to cater to European audiences, should FIFA adjust next summer's World Cup schedule? Fans will watch no matter what time. James, what do you make of this? Are they going to make changes? Because obviously it was catered to Europe, these kick-off times.
Yeah, they are going to some extent. I mean, but you can't accommodate everybody, can you? Obviously, across all the time zones with 48 teams, it's going to be impossible, really, to strike that balance between, you know, catering it to the domestic audience of that country that's playing, but also making sure they stay out of the heat. I mean, I do think this is quite a big factor in terms of, you know, every team a level playing field in terms of the heat exposure, the time of day that they kick off, and whether they play in a covered stadium. Because let's say you have two teams that are going to play each other in the knockout rounds, and their final group game, one of them plays in the middle of the day in 35-degree heat, the other one plays in an air-conditioned stadium. It's obviously going to affect one team more than the other and give that team an advantage going into the knockout rounds. So as much as the kick-off times and balancing that with the domestic audiences in those countries, they're going to have to find a way to make sure that each of the teams is exposed to the conditions as equally, as fairly as possible, because otherwise you're just going to get teams that are going to complain about it as they did this year.
James says that as if Infantino and his mob really care. I mean, come on.
Do you know what
No.
No?
It's the same nonsense about the stadiums. With the indoors, yeah, we're going to get more indoors. It's the same nonsense with the fields. We're going to go back to Atlanta and that fantastic stadium and lay another field, a grass field on top of it. Don't fall for all that nonsense. Yeah, we've learned. There's been a lot of lessons learned.
Right.
Yeah, right.
James, what month does United sack Amorim?
Well, let's see. I mean, based on where they are at the moment, you'd have to say December. I think. I mean,
yeah,
you know,
say December.
December, yeah, sounded good.
If he doesn't start particularly well, can they give him another transfer window? That will be the question they'll ask themselves. And you know, if they do make a poor start to the season, then he's going to have the clear weeks. You know, this is the big thing that he used to talk about. I don't have any time to train with the players. I came in mid-season. What do you expect me to do? Sort of thing. You know, I wanted to come at the end of the season. I didn't want to come in the middle of the campaign. Well, now he's got the full pre-season. He's got clear weeks with no European football. If they're not, you know, top 6, top 8, even. I mean, they're a mid-table team for me now. If they're 7th, 8th, he's doing okay. But any worse than that, they're going to have to look at it in November, December time.
James, Don famously played for 709 clubs during his career and took care of several of the transfers without an agent. How different is the transfer landscape these days? Wow,
I mean, I wish it was like that, because you know, now you have a situation where a lot of these top players have multiple agents, and really any of the big deals can have, and quite often do have, an agent working on behalf of the selling club, an agent working on behalf of the buying club, and an agent, at least one, working on behalf of the player. You then might have a lawyer involved ×3 for the selling club, buying club, and the player. And there's usually other intermediaries who say they're involved or try to tell you they're involved. As a journalist, it's a very difficult sort of combination to decipher, really. I wish it was, you go back to the era where you could just, and these are the days, and Don and Stevie will know, I'm sure these are the days where journalists would just ring you up and find out what was going on, right? I mean, that's very, very different now.
Don, what were the percentage chances of Chelsea winning the Club World Cup, according to you, before the tournament started?
Oh, they would have been pretty low. I mean, I'm not gonna fudge it. I mean, I wouldn't have had them as eventual winners. I don't think many would. They fell on the kind side of the draw, which done them a massive favour. But still, I think you have to give them a bit of credit. I mean, even though it was sort of,
you're kind of dancing around the answer here, Don. Slightly, I feel. 0 is the answer, isn't
it? 1.
1%. Yeah. Stevie, during your time as one of Europe's best defenders, at one of Europe's best clubs, did any of the medical staff or dietitians ever try to dissuade you for your love of fried spuds and chocolate, or is it a case of if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
Do you know what Ronnie Moran once said to me? I think it was about 89, 90. He just once said to me, he said, "You don't really want to be eating that many crisps on a Friday night, do you?" And I went, "No, you're right, Ronnie." Then he went off, shut the door. I pulled the bag out. Because you used to come in the room at 9 o'clock.
Right.
To make sure you were in.
Yes.
Make sure, and whoever needed I got a sleeping tablet.
Okay.
So he'd come in and I'd be sitting there with bags. And he'd be like, you know, you want to watch what you're doing on a Friday night with these crisps.
I'm surprised you needed a sleeping tablet, given your ways.
I just took it, just to make sure.
Right, okay, just make sure you went to sleep. James, are you aware that on one night before the game, how many packets of crisps did you have, Stevie? What was your record?
14.
14 packets of crisps.
Well, yeah, I think we can say nutrition's probably come on a little bit in the last 2 years.
Never bloody did
Don't
me
forget
any
the pint
harm,
of Coke. don't forget the pint of Coke.
Yep.
Yeah, the Coke. You got to wash it down.
Yep. Final question. Stevie, since you watch a lot of YouTube videos, do you know who IShowSpeed is?
No.
No?
No.
There you are. Don, would you like to enlighten him? Your boys must watch him.
Yeah.
Who is he?
No, I've seen him. I've seen him knocking around.
What does he do?
Entertaining, like YouTuber.
Wow.
Oh, I don't know.
nailed it,
No.
Stevie.
I don't.
You've
All
nailed
these
it. What does he do?
YouTubers and these, what do they call themselves? Influencers.
Oh, yeah, it's like
I don't want anything to do with it.
Right, so what's your go-to at the moment? You were watching people who were, what were they doing in the forest?
Well, they're building a hut in the forest.
Building a hut in the forest, that was your go-to watching.
Well, I kind of just move along. I just move along nicely from one thing, and something comes up, and then I go to that.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm in rugby big time.
Oh, rugby, because the
Lions
are coming up at the weekend.
I'm watching all kinds of different tries and games and everything right now.
Stevie, thank you very much. I'm still impressed that you remembered your wedding anniversary. We will just take a look at one old time, shall we? At Stevie's diet during the season. Bit of sausage and mash, 2 bags of crisps and a Coke, fish and chips and beans, beautiful. Cub sandwich, pot of tea, pint of Coke, 6 bags of crisps. Ronnie Moran comes in.
Stephen?
That is it then. ESPN FC returns to your screen tomorrow. Craig and Frank will be here. Be sure to join us.